My name is Shoquafina, and I'm the coach of your Lake Huron Lanturns here in Week 8 of the GPL Pokemon Battle League. And this week we are building our team to go up against Foxy Ice Cubes and the Winnipeg Weaviles. If you guys are excited for this battle video coming up tomorrow, and also excited to see our team this week, please leave a like down below and subscribe, as well as follow me on Twitter in order to be notified when all these different videos come out. But let's just get right into this by going over his team really quick, because he has a lot of big threats on his team that are actually hard for me to deal with. He has a Latios, Staraptor, Rotom Heat, Scrafty, Quagsire, Carbink, Azu, the Tentacruel, Bronzong, Torkoal, and his Mega is Mega Venusaur. So, right off the bat, Latios is a big problem. Really fast, hits really hard. It can be defensive as well. It gets things like Defog in order to get rid of rocks and hazards and all that stuff. He also has a good spinner in Tentacruel, one of the best spinners in the game when it comes to getting rid of hazards. And Mega Venusaur just walls almost my entire team, to be honest with you guys. I have one Pokemon that has a chance at OHKOing this thing. So it just does very well against my team. And the Mega Venusaur Latios core that he has here is absolutely incredible, especially against me. And you throw in Azu and just makes it that much harder for me to get what I want to get done, which is that Venusaur out of my way. As soon as I get rid of Mega Venusaur, I'm going to feel so much better about this matchup. It's just that Venusaur is such a big problem for me. So we're going to go over my team and how I'm going to try and play around that. First of all, the one Pokemon I have that has a chance of OHKOing is my Crobat here, and that's only if he's choice banded. So that's what we're bringing. We're bringing choice banded Crobat. Pinky is here. Infiltrator, just in case he decides to set up a sub with something, I can go right through it. Of course, we have Brave Bird, U-turn, Defog in case of emergencies. I don't want a bunch of hazards up on my side of the field, obviously. And then Cross Poison is there for our Poison type stab to hit Azu super effectively. And yeah, but choice banded Brave Bird has a chance to OHKO Mega Venusaur. Depending on his spread, if he's max defense, bold, max HP, I think it's still a 2-hit KO. But I think Brave Bird plus Stealth Rocks knocks him out, if I'm not mistaken. It also has a chance to OHKO the Latios, and we do outspeed the Latios by 1 point unless it's Scarfed. As you see our EV spread down here, we have max attack, Adamant Nature, 220 into speed to make it 351. Latios tops out at a Timid Nature at 350, so we outspeed it by 1 point no matter what, unless he's Scarfed, which is also a problem for us, which is why I'm bringing a Pokemon later on. I'll go over that when I get there to kind of scout for that. We have 32 EVs in our HP in order to get that as high as we can get it, and also keep it odd so we can switch in on Stealth Rocks more times. And our special defense just has whatever's left. So that's our Crobat this week. This thing's going to be a major player. Like I said, it OHKOs, or has a good chance to OHKO the majority of his threats. Scrafty goes down to a Brave Bird as well. It does a tremendous amount to Tentacruel. And really the only thing that wants to switch in on this is Rotom Heat. But if I have Stealth Rocks up, it's not going to want to take 2 Cross Poisons. And I outspeed everything on his team that isn't Scarfed with my Crobat. So we're looking really good. If I can predict some switches and go for U-turns on, say, like on the Rotom, if I predict the switch into that, the U-turns going to be really critical for me. So that's what we're looking at right now. I need Crobat to be MVP this week. If it isn't, I'm going to have a really tough time. So I need to use him sparingly and make sure that I keep hazards off my side of the field if it comes down to that. So up next we have our Heatran, GPL's Reckoning. We're actually running choice specs with Stealth Rock, Fire Blast, Earth Power, and Flash Cannon. This is basically the same set as last week, except I was running choice Scarf on it. But he has a lot of really fast things, namely, well, not a lot, but namely that Latios. I'm expecting it to bring Earthquake for Heatran, so I'm not going to want to switch in on it a whole lot. I might switch in to take a Draco if I expect a Draco, because I can take that, I resist it, and we're just naturally bulky. So that should be no problem. But as you can see here, we're max special attack, max HP, the rest in special defense. Modest nature. So we're going to be hitting things really hard with the choice specs. I need to get Stealth Rocks up early. I need to make sure I punish all of his switch-ins, especially at Rotom Heat, because that thing's a pain in my neck. Fire Blast just does so much to so many different things, and whenever that doesn't hit, Flash Cannon and Earth Power pretty much do as well. Earth Power is mainly here for that Tentacruel. I know Tentacruel is really bulky on the special side, and it outspeeds me. So Scald, I'm not really going to like a Scald, but Earth Power Choice Specs is going to do just a fantastic amount to the Tentacruel. Make sure you can't get my rocks out of there. So that's what we're looking at here with Heatran. Nothing too crazy. We're actually offensive Heatran twice in a row. I was bringing this thing defensively earlier on in the season, and it wasn't really doing too much for me, so I decided let's bring it offensively. Then you guys saw last week it got the 4 Pokemon sweep at the end, so I'm looking for this thing to try and put in some work here as well. I know speed might be a little bit of an issue, but I think we'll be okay. Next we have our Mega Altaria. We are doing a just offensive Dragon Dance here with Dragon Dance, Roost, Return, and Outrage. Max attack, adamant, max speed, the rest of special defense. That's really all I have to say about that. I need this thing to set up. I go +1 and I outspeed Latios and just destroy its life with a return. I was going to go Earthquake with this, but it didn't really do what I needed it to do. I have Outrage here because it hits the Mega Venusaur the hardest out of any move that I have. Especially if I'm +1, I think I 2-hit KO it after Stealth Rocks, depending on how its spread is. Again, Mega Venusaur is incredibly bulky, so if it's bold, max defense, then we might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but this is what I'm looking for here. This is one of my win cons, my other one being Crobat, just destroying everything. So Crobat's my big wall breaker. This thing's my big setup mon. I don't have a lot I can set up on, to be honest with you. If Rotom doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, I can set up with this thing. If he's afraid to use Will-O-Wisp because of last week when I had my Heatran switch in on Will-O-Wisp, I then swept with Fire Blast. So he might be a little hesitant to bring it this week, which is fine. I can set up on Rotom Heat otherwise and get a couple Dragon Dances up and hopefully sweep from there. So that's the hope, that's the plan. And that's really what I need to happen this week, because he actually, again, has a really good matchup against us. Up next is our PD, Life Orb, Speed Boost, Poison Jab, Mega Horn, Rock Slide, and Protect. I was thinking about bringing the Toxic Spikes Endeavor set this week, but or just Spikes Endeavor, but I realized it didn't really match up very well against my opponent, especially with the Toxic Spikes, because he has that Mega Venusaur to soak him up. And Poison Jab, Mega Horn, Rock Slide hits almost everything on his entire team, except for, guess what, the Mega Venusaur. I needed something to hit the Staraptor for super effective damage. Excuse me, I keep stuttering. That is our Rock Slide. After Stealth Rocks, that I think it might have a chance to OHKO, but you know, it has Intimidate as well if he chooses to bring that instead of Reckless, so who knows. But I also have to Protect there, just to scout as well. Also, this helps me scout to see if Latios is Choice Scarfed, because let's just look at this. Okay, so we are max attack, and we are at 240 speed, Jolly Nature, the rest in HP. Just enough speed to outspeed Latios, which means after a speed boost, we outspeed Scarf Latios. So if I'm feeling a little ballsy, I'll send this thing in, and instead of going for speed boost on the Latios, I'll go for a Mega Horn. If he switches, that tells me he's not Scarfed. If he stays in and goes before me, that tells me that he is, and that my Crobat's gonna be a problem, or that he'll be a problem for my Crobat. Alternatively, I could just Protect and then make sure I outspeed. So this is kind of my fail-safe for Scarf Latios. I send this in, I Protect, and then Mega Horn next turn, knock it out. This is, yeah, again, my fail-safe for the Latios. I have Pinky here, which can OHKO, which does OHKO Scarf Latios with a Brave Bird, but it OHKOs me with Psy Shock, and it would go first if it's Scarf. So that's just how it is, guys. But I do outspeed after Speed Boost, and Mega Horn does OHKO, so we have the fail-safe. I just need to make sure I keep my Crobat around long enough to take out that Venusaur, because that is the biggest threat on his team to my team. And up next, you might be asking yourself, why is Vaporeon here if he has a Mega Venusaur? Well, I'll tell you why. That's because Scald is still a fantastic move. Burns are great. I want Burns on everything on his team. We also have the HP Grass here for his Quagsire, because I really didn't have anything else for that. I did not want to bring Chestnut this week because it just absolutely walled by Venusaur. Latios destroys it. And just so many other things on his team just handle my Chestnut extremely well, like Rotom Heat. A lot of things that I could really see him bringing. Staraptor, you know, I'm naming more things that can OHKO my Chestnut than Chestnut can actually wall. So I needed another wall. I needed something to soak up some hits, and Vaporeon is that Pokemon. I can take Earthquakes from the Mega Venusaur all day, so I can switch between my Heatran and my Vaporeon if I need to, if he has the Earthquake. We have the Wish and Protect here just to keep our Crobat healthy. I want to keep this thing as healthy as possible. If he has rocks up on the side of the field, this is my Defogger, which means I need to switch in and take 25% from that. We're going to be Brave Birding a lot, which means we're taking recoil damage. I need to wish this thing back to full. I'm going to be needing to do that. I'm going to need to do that quite a bit. So we are max defense, bold, max HP with a little bit in special attack. That is our Vaporeon. And then we have our Umbreon, who was MVP last week. Without a doubt the MVP last week. With the synchronized ability, of course. Leftovers. Oh yeah, once again we have leftovers on our Vaporeon. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. But here are the leftovers on Ringo. Wish, again, 2 Wish Passers this week. I feel like it's going to be needed to keep our Crobat healthy, to keep our Scolipede healthy. These 2 are really the 2 big ones I'm worried about because, again, this is my fail-safe to Latios. This thing destroys Mega Venusaur, and I have Rock Slide here for the Rotom. I have Rock Slide here for the bird, Staraptor, and this thing also with Brave Bird just annihilates Staraptor as well. So unless it has Intimidate, but yeah. So I need to keep those 2 Pokemon healthy. They're both weak to Stealth Rocks, and they're both gonna take Recoil. Scolipede from Life Orb and Crobat from Brave Bird. So I have 2 Wish Passers. We also have Toxic, Taunt, and Foul Play on our Umbreon here. The Toxics obviously are toxic things. I want to Toxic that Quagsire, get it out of my life. I want to Toxic that Rotom to make sure it's on a timer, and if it switches, if it's Toxic and switches into Stealth Rocks, it's taking about a third of its health upon switching. So that's what we need, because I do not like Rotom. I don't want it to be around. We have Taunt for the Venusaur in case he wants to go for Leech Seeds shenanigans, as well as for the Latios in case he's a Calm Mindset, and even for the Rotom if he goes for Will-O-Wisp. That way we know he has Will-O-Wisp. I can Taunt it, switch in my Mega Altaria the next turn, and then just Dragon Dance up on his face, and then knock it out with a big Outrage, or even a return if he's low enough with the Stealth Rocks. So we're max HP, max special defense, calm nature, with a little bit of defense there. That's our team this week, guys. We have a really, really bad matchup against Foxy. So these 2 Wish Passers are going to be absolutely crucial. We need them to come through this week to keep our Pinky and our PD healthy. And then we basically have these 2 just as basically wall breakers, to be honest with you. That's what they're here to do. Do some damage to Mega Venusaur. Obviously, Fire Blast is not super effective against Mega Venusaur because he has a thick fat ability. Well, it is super effective, but doesn't do super effective damage because of thick fat. So, and if he has Earthquake, Heatran's practically useless against it. It's here for Stealth Rocks and to hurt things with Fire Blast, and Tentacruel with Earth Power, as well as pop something with Flash Cannon. And this thing, again, is just a Dragon Dance up on some of his walls that can't touch me, and then hopefully pick up a couple of kills before I go down. So I have a couple Pokemon that are here to just put in some damage and then go down. Then I have other ones that are here that I want to keep healthy throughout the entire match. So that's why I have 2 Wish Passers. Might come back to bite me because, you know, 4 move slot syndrome. I would have liked to had Ice Beam on Vaporeon. I would have liked to had, you know, maybe Protect on our Umbreon so we can Wish Protect. But, you know, that's just how it is. 4 move slot syndrome, like I said. Baton Pass would have been nice as well. But what can you do? That's going to be our team this week, guys. Wish me luck because I'm actually really scared about this one. We're 5-2. We need to keep winning if we want to come in first place. And this is one of those matchups where I'm looking at his team and I'm looking at mine, and I'm like, if he brings the right Pokemon with the right sets, I don't think there's going to be anything I can do. So we're going to have to play our butts off basically tomorrow, just to show him how well we can do against this team, and hopefully show the rest of the league that we deserve to be in first, even though we got swept by the guy that's in first place right now. Shout out Professor's Chipboard. Don't sweep me with Manaphy again. I don't like that. So I'm rambling. I'm going to go. My name's Shoquafina, and I'm out.